And speaking of, LeBron James is in the news. It was Monday, actually, from Media Day, Lakers Media Day, and he said some controversial things. I took two things away from this, Rich, that sort of rubbed me the wrong way.
What's that?
Well, he said, again, he was asked, "Hey, King, LeBron, you got anything left to prove?" And here's what he said.
LeBron, do you feel like there's anything left to accomplish? I mean, you pretty much, checked all the boxes. Is there
anything left for me to accomplish as a basketball player?
As a basketball player, on the court or off the court?
No. Everything else is extra credit. I'll take it. Though. I love it. I love what I do. But I don't need to. I got everything.
Now, my immediate thought process was, does LeBron James have anything left to prove, right? I'm like, well, as a Laker, he does. As a basketball player, no. But as a Laker, I'm thinking, yeah, he won one in the bubble and all that. How many people are quick to dump on that accomplishment, though? Like, that bubble doesn't count. I personally think it does. Yeah, I personally think it does. But just to shut up the naysayers and the haters and to do it again, I mean, you are LeBron James. You got to...
Another one.
Right, just get another one and shut everybody up. To me, that's something to prove. That the bubble wasn't a fluke, that you won with the Lakers again, solidify your legacy. To me, there's something to prove there. But then Danny G, as the resident Lakers fan, he's like, yeah, but as a fan, I just don't even want to hear that. Would you like to explain?
As a young teammate with LeBron, would you like to hear or see that quote? I don't think so, because you want to win one yourself, and you want LeBron to be motivated as you are to get that chip. So I don't want to hear LeBron say, everything else is extra credit that I do right now. I want him to say, I'm still hungry, as if I had never won a championship before. And I know some people still don't have me up there with Michael. To be up there with Michael, I need to win another one at least.
Yes, and then that's more to prove. And as a fan, you're like, yo, where's that fire, dude? What do you mean?
We live in a world of comparisons, and the first thing people will think, that's not very Kobe or Jordan-like.
Or Brady recently when he was talking about how winning rings was fun to him.
Yeah, Tom Brady got all snippy when Baker Mayfield insinuated he wasn't fun.
Remember, if he wanted to have fun, he'd take his kids to Disneyland. Winning was fun. So that's sort of the fire you would want from an aging veteran on your team who's still got game and who's also entering a season with his son with a lot to prove there.
And that was something that people noticed, that Bronny, not media trained yet, he was sort of boring and monotone in his answers. Like, they had to be like, yo, Bronny, let's, get this kid a coffee. Get him a pumpkin spice latte or something.
LeBron busted his chops and loosened him up for the recordings he was doing for media.
Now, are we overly dissecting that? Hey, maybe a little bit, but it's LeBron James. Again, they asked him, do you have anything left to prove? He says, no, everything else is extra credit. Insinuating nothing left to prove. I have to disagree, and as a fan or teammate, that's a really good angle, Danny G. As a teammate, some young, hungry kid that wants to win, he's thinking, I'm playing with LeBron. This is great. I got a chance. You want to hear from the leader of the team, like, no, everything else is icing on the cake? That's the cake for everybody else.
I look at it this way.
I don't like it.
I said before the show, as the show began.
And by the way, not a LeBron hater, for the record. Like, I get excited to watch LeBron. So not hating, just stating. I don't like that quote at all. LeBron James saying that he has nothing left to prove, everything else is extra credit, is such a weak answer. And he said it playfully. He's having fun. It's media day. But fans do not want to hear that. Teammates do not want to hear that. And, again, I think he does have a lot to prove.
Well, I said before, I would let you know, why is LeBron James like a fat, out of shape, I sound like ravishing Rick Rude right now. You fat, out of shape, Punxsutawney peons. Why is LeBron like the fat, balding husband or the lazy wife? Because what happens is you go into a relationship, a partnership, a contract with a team. If you show signs of, well, I'm not putting the same effort anymore, or I lost that hunger, I've always said that I always want my wife to want me because she wants me, not because like, well, he's my husband.
There's some sort of obligation. Or
yeah, like that's
right.
What's your birthday?
Yeah.
Look at it like this. people that go into a marriage, nothing bothers me more when I hear a guy call his wife his old lady.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, my old lady.
Or the old ball and chain or
Or
something pathetic.
When the guy says something like, yeah, I don't really buy new clothes or care about my haircut or go to the gym. I'm married.
For what?
For what, my wife? Yeah, for your wife.
I'm wearing the same silver tabs I wore in 94. I was like, hey, maybe you should get a new pair.
Yeah.
I still got the same Carpenter jeans from 1999. Well, guess what? The Bob Vilas are out of style.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
unless you're Karen Carpenter or Jesus. He was a carpenter, right?
Right, yeah, he was
you
a
shouldn't be wearing carpenter pants.
it's a bad attitude. That's what Rich is getting at.
Yeah,
Like, you
it's-
want to have that same fire, that same flame, or at least give the perception that you do.
You don't want to work with someone that says, well, if I stay later, it's not like I'm getting paid more. Bye.
Oh,
That's like the
worst.
lazy-ass
That's
coworker.
a menial
It's
sort of
It
quality.
is like the husband or wife that says, well, I don't need to shave my legs. It's winter and I'm married. Or the guy that's, guzzling beers watching football saying, who cares? Old lady, what is she going to do? Leave me?
Yeah, so Rich is saying, like, you start getting lazy, you're not putting in the same effort.
I'm not saying LeBron is the equivalent of a fat, lazy husband or
LeBron
wife.
is LeBron, but that quote is equivalent.
Yeah, I don't like the quote, but I feel like his actions showed different because if you did watch Team USA,
Of course.
LeBron looked like a 20-year younger version of himself. So LeBron on the court, you can never deny what he brings.
Oh, and how about this?
I just like it. I just like it as a message, Covino. I want him to look like the guy.
How about this, though? How about if he's like, hey, do you have anything else to prove? Yeah, that me and my son, me and Bronny, could win together. And we have a great team behind us, and we want to win as a team. And nothing would mean more than for me to win with my son. Man, that's what you say. I'm not media trained. I'm not LeBron. Nah, I'm good. We mean you're good. Nah, everything else is icing on the cake. No, it's not. And not for everybody else, not for the fans. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I agree with Rich, though. Rich, his actions do prove otherwise, so he gets the pass. I'm talking about the quote. I don't want to hear that.
Actions speak louder than words.
They do.
Think of a legend, right? Dan Patrick. Dan Patrick is a few years away from hanging it up. You could almost argue that LeBron and Dan Patrick are on the same trajectory. Legends a year or so away from saying farewell, right? What if Dan Patrick's like, I accomplished everything I needed to do. I don't know, I got nothing to prove.
He's just mailing it in now.
But he's not. His actions show that show's still
Yeah, everybody
top
loves
notch.
it.
LeBron's game is still top notch. So do the words matter?
I think they do. They matter. Look, Danny G's like, I don't think I like hearing that. And I at first I thought my thought process. I just was reading the headlines and then I heard the quote. I was like, yeah, I think he does have something to prove. His son's on the team this year. The bubble thing is always speculated on, the bubble championship. He's always compared to Jordan while he's still playing.
Yeah, but among his
while
peers,
he's still playing, he still has something to prove.
Among his peers, if you've noticed, the most respected, loved guy. Look at Team USA. What was the sentiment, Danny G, around Team USA? Players that had never played with LeBron, weren't they saying, this guy in practice plays like a 20-year-old?
Oh, yeah.
Like the sentiment is
he's still LeBron. I
it's
get it.
it's almost crazy. People are like, how does he have this much left in the tank? And he's,
Yeah,
But you
not
know
just
what?
his teammates. Remember what the coaches were saying? They're like, this guy is just not from this planet.
Remember we talked about optics, though? If anything were to happen this year and he's slipping a little bit and he's playing bad, it'll come back to things like that.
well, he did say he has nothing to
Yeah, he
prove.
wasn't taking it serious, since the media day. Remember that media day? He just sort of then it'll turn into the narrative like he just wanted to stick around to play 1 year with his son. His heart's really not in it. If that attitude continues,
Interesting.
that'll be the narrative.